All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And, it's Brother Baqar. That's it. And we're just going to go right into it. We were discussing earlier today, this whole Eclipse situation. And yeah, we're going to keep talking about it. But,
Because they talking about it.
yeah, because they're talking about it, and if you don't like it, well, deal with it. But pretty much, what you were reading earlier today, you have schools that are basically closing, saying that the kids should be home on that day, and the National Guard is going to be deployed. What's making it more interesting to look into is not only on the spiritual side of things, right, with the numerology, with the timing, and also how atmospherical things and space-like events also have an effect on the Earth, right? If even the moon in itself can have an effect on the Earth and its inhabitants, how much more for things like eclipse and so on and so forth, which are signs, right? Like you mentioned, we know it's definitely a sign because when Yahweh Shai was on the Earth 2,000 years ago on his death, there was an eclipse, and that wasn't by coincidence. The Lord had it so, So, with that aside, these people are taking extreme precautions, which is unusual for an eclipse. Something that should be, because this isn't the first time an eclipse has happened, so something that should be regular, they're going the extra mile, get food and water, stock up on this, which is making it, it's making you wonder, is there something else going on, or is there something more that they know that the public don't? Oh, that's nice. Yeah, something that they know that I would like to record that. Damn.
See Mars within that.
Okay. Something that they know that the public don't, which is why they're coming out with this, or if they're getting ready to do something, you know?
And that's why Yahweh Shai always talks about watching out for the signs, right? Because the signs are very significant in where you're going, right? We're on a drive right now, and we're looking at signs to let us know where we at and where we're trying to go.
Right.
Right? So the signs are always something that the Lord always, gave us, as disciples, as we asked Him, 2,000 plus years ago, Lord, what are the signs that we should look out for, for your return, for your coming,
And of the end of the world.
and of the end of the world. We understand that the end of the world is not talking about, the end of, the world as in the earth, right? Like how they teach you in the churches, it's going to be the end of the earth, the end of the world, and everyone's going to be destroyed. But it's really talking about the end of an age,
Right.
right? The end of this age, which is the age of the what is known as the common era. All right. Now we're about to enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Right.
Okay. And with that comes a whole new different vibration, as is written in the book of, I believe, 2 Peter, where it talks about we're looking for a new heaven and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. Right, so that new heaven and a new earth, before that comes, right, as it says in second Esdras, the parting asunder of times, right? Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So they know, right? When we say they, we're talking about our counterpart, which is Esau Edom. They also know and understand that these are also signs that's going to signify something, right? So they're very, very important to look into. So for them to be, like the brother said, for them to be taking all these measures, it's very unusual, but it's also very interesting because a lot of things that they're saying is based and geared towards safety. They're using the words safety or safely, which we know, we get that. The Apostle Paul talks about when they shall say peace and safety, right? Then sudden destruction cometh upon them, right? So it's very interesting. So let's see. There's a book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, starting off in verse 1. It says, "But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you." Right? So those times and the seasons is what we're seeing now. Because why doesn't the Apostle Paul have to write unto us? It's because we're watching out for those same those signs too. If anything, we're the ones who see them and give the warning. So it says, "For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night." Right? Now, it's not going to come as a thief in the night for us, right? Because we're watching. but it's gonna happen suddenly and as a thief in the night for those who are not watching. It was gonna come upon them suddenly, unawares. And believe it or not, even with all the broadcasting that's going on around the world, even here in Babylon, all these red flags going left and right. You had the FBI director, Christopher Wray, a few weeks ago came out and said that, there's red flags everywhere. He also mentioned that, the threat level is at a whole nother level, right? So they always telegraph, they always say things before it happens. Prior to so-called 9/11, right? There was so-called intel that, hey, something might be going down. Something might be going down. The Twin Towers might get attacked. And then soon after that, surely that same thing that they were warning about came to pass.
Yep.
Right? What happened in October 7th out in so-called Israel, the Gaza situation, apparently somebody from Egypt gave them a heads up that, hey, we get some intel that, something about to go down, whatever the case may be, and then boom, it happened. Right? Same thing with what happened on 322 in Russia, right? The whole so-called shooting or massacre, whatever that thing was, whether it be an inside job or whatever the case may be, right? They got a heads up on that as well, and the same thing that they got a heads up on, was it Secretary Blinken, Secretary of State? He gave a briefing, that they're suspecting that something might be going down out there in Russia, so all Americans should leave the place and don't be in crowded areas and all this extra stuff. Those are the same signs and warnings that they're giving over here. That there's going to be increased tourists and so we're going to take safety precautions. So it's very, very interesting, right? But again, these are all the signs to look out for. Okay, when you hear it and you see it, don't take it for granted. So it says for verse 3, it says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." Right? So the travailing, right, is what we're about to go through. Because remember, Yahushua said, all these signs are what? The beginning of sorrows. Okay, we know Jacob's trouble is up next, right around the corner, right, which is all leading to the Third World War, right? Russia is out here preparing, so we know that the thermonuclear fire is right around the corner. So what the leading events to thermonuclear fire is where we're at right now. Is where we're at right now, man.
Right. Hey, Yahushua said, like you mentioned, as you quoted, when the disciples asked him, "What shall be the signs?" They asked, "What will be the signs of the end of the world and your return?" Right? And when you look at the signs he gave them, those are the signs that even if you look at a general empire that's experiencing those signs, that's a sign of its end. The people fighting against each other, violence, wars and rumors of wars, pestilence, earthquakes. That signifies the ending of an age, of a rulership. And the Yahushua said those will specifically be that ending of that rulership specifically will also be my entrance, to this place.
Division.
Yeah.
What did Yahushua say? He said, if a kingdom be divided against itself, it shall not stand.
That's it.
And we're seeing a division like never before. It's a division has become almost like a culture here. If you're not divided, you're looked at as weird. Everything is, it's my way or their way. Everything is separation.
Right.
On every topic, you have some form of division, some form of intense, anxiety that ultimately is going to lead to some type of clash. Whether it be between the races, right? You got Jacob, and the scriptures tell you that Judah is going to be a terror unto Egypt.
Yep.
Lately, there's been a lot of videos of these demon kids and
Right.
these monsters going around attacking people, man. Putting them in a coma and all that.
Yep.
Jake is on a tear right now, just wilding out. And they're not targeting just any old people; they're targeting Edomites.
Yep.
And it's showing you the strength. It says the younger is going to be stronger than the older one. You're seeing that now. We've always been stronger. It makes you wonder, like, damn, how do these people get us, into captivity. Here it is. We're better than them in every single aspect of the word better. And yet they were able to conquer us and take us over and keep us under their foot. Put our children in a zoo. You know, 80. So 80, exit 80.
Yeah.
Put us under their foot. And so on and so forth. All right, but hey, the Lord is showing us that He's about to return our captivity.
Mm-hmm.
He's about to take over, take off that foot on our necks, man. And put it upon our enemies' necks, which is the number one enemy is Esau Edom, starting with the house of Amalek.
Mm-hmm. And that's in the book of Revelation, the book of Jeremiah. About those that oppressed us. We're gonna have them.
Yep.
Which also in Revelation 12:12 it talks about them coming down with great wrath because they know they have but a short time.
Yep.
So they're trying to take advantage of, everything that they have now within their power to do what they got to do.
Yep.
And that's why they're getting ready now. I mean, regardless of what happens, whether something does happen big or not, something is still going to happen. There's some significance behind this eclipse, whether they decide to take action on it or not. Because Yahweh Shem Yahushai, as it says in Psalms 119 and 126, it is time for thee to work.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
So we're gonna go to one second.
You're not taking acre? Okay.
We just took the exit
82. All right.
So we're gonna go into this article here, again, and it's interesting because the title of the article says "Warning." Okay, which is what the theme of us being on this earth really is to warn. Okay, going back to Ezekiel 3:17, right? The Heavenly Father said to give them warning from me.
Yep.
Okay, so it says here, warning: emergency officials in Texas warn schools should close for the eclipse.
And you hear that? Emergency officials.
Mm-hmm.
Why is how? Since when did an eclipse become an emergency?
Mm-hmm. Right. So it says, in anticipation of the celestial spectacle set to grace the skies, communities across Texas are bracing for an event that transcends the ordinary. See, so they put all these things. We got to always pay attention to the wording. Because they have to go through a certain form of approval before they can set these things out, and it's also normally all these news media and the articles and all that. It's all mostly geared towards the psyche, right? The minds of the people. So even when they tell you things, they subliminally tell you things as well.
Yep.
So it says a total solar eclipse, right? It says this rare astronomical event, promising an unparalleled visual effect or visual feast. Visual feast has not only captivated the imaginations of stargazers and scientists alike, but has also prompted a significant shift in local educational and emergency management strategies. Right, and I did a video on that I think last week. All right, going into the hospitals are doing their drills. Right, they had a so-called cyber attack which affected a lot of their operations.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and then about a month or so ago, right after Jacob Rothschild died, right, you had the telecommunication networks went down.
Mm-hmm.
Right, you had following that, I believe you had the you had Google and them,
Instagram,
Instagram,
YouTube.
they also went down. Right, you had T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T, they went down. So that's all going into telecommunications, right? And then you had the internet. All right, it went down for a while, and then they also went into I believe the FBI, CIA, all of them. They also had some type of disruption in their infrastructure, right? They had the DMV. They also had some problems over there, So it's like all these things happening. These are all going into what the birth pains, little things, contractions, basically. These are all the signs of a deliverance. When a woman starts, she's carrying the baby for a while, she gets heavier and heavier and heavier. That's what you see with America. Is that the burden just keeps on getting heavier and heavier and heavier. And then now is where you get the contractions, where she knows is about that time where the extreme pain or the most painful time of the whole childbirth is really about to take place, right? We've seen the wars or rumors of wars. We've seen the earthquakes in diverse places, and it's increasing now, right? We've seen the pestilences, which is about to even get on a whole nother level. Now they're saying cancer,
Yep.
you know, so we see the division, right? The tension rising, and so on and so forth, the wars and so on and so forth. And so all these signs are there, and just like Yahushua said, these are the beginning of sorrows. Okay, so we know that Jacob's trouble is really going to be that telling point, right? That epic, the climax. All right, so we'll see. But let's keep going. It says, um, as excitement builds for the eclipse, slated to occur next month, local districts are taking unprecedented steps to ensure that the event is observed safely and responsibly. Okay, so that's that word again, safely. Okay, again, we just read. Let me go back to it. All right, the book of First Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3 says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." Okay, so there'll be no way out. All right, so when we get to that light, that's the checkpoint I was telling you about. We're gonna make it right.
Okay.
On to 9H.
All right.
So that time of peace and safety is what they're pushing now. They're pushing that now. See, that's the story.
Okay.
So we are the watchmen who have to give you the warning. Say, hey, pay attention to this, pay attention to that, pay attention to this, pay attention over there. They're doing something over here. And we always sound like they say conspiracy theorists and nut jobs. But guess what? We are a thorn in their side. They wish we were not here to give you everything that we give you. Because guess what? The truth of the Bible is exposing their lies, right? Specifically the Jays, because they're trying to push this narrative of they're fulfilling prophecy and all this extra shit. But then we come out here and we say, well, according to biblical prophecy, you wouldn't be in the land if you were the true people. And they're like, no, well, we're about to build the third temple. God brought us here in 1948 and we're here. No. The prophecy says the Messiah is going to be the one to bring us out of all the nations that he dispersed us into and bring us back into our land. It's not going to be no Balfour Declaration. See? But if you don't know the Bible, which a lot of people don't know the Bible, they go along with that. They think that these people are actually the chosen people of the Most High. And this is a significant part of prophecy. Who are the true people of the Most High, the children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel. You see? And yes, of course, when we go back into our land, we're going to get our land back. We're not going to be fighting against the Palestinians.
No. There's no more war.
No more war.
There's going to be one final war when Yahushua comes back. And after that, everything is going to be under him.
Right. So us bringing out, again, the doctrine of the Hebrew Israelites, the truth being brought out now, starting with our elders and apostles of Great Millstone on down. Yeah, of course, you got all these other camps, but guess what? We're looking for 100% truth. All right? There's no, 99%. Nah, fuck that. 100% truth, which is what Yahushua taught. So if you're not teaching according to that, then you don't got 100% truth. Therefore, you're not a true prophet of the Lord. Because a man of the Lord is not going to come in and sugarcoat stuff. He's not going to come in and tell you things that you want to hear. He's going to tell you what the Lord says.
Yep. Because we're not a man of men or a man of your feelings. We're a man of the Lord.
Right.
Our message comes from Yahweh Basham Yahushua. That whatever you got to say don't matter.
It don't matter. So continuing, it says, the decision by several. Like 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
It says the decision by several Texas school districts to close their doors during the eclipse follows careful consideration of both the opportunities and the challenges presented by this extraordinary event. You hear this? So what kind of opportunities are they talking about? It's just a damn eclipse. Why you gotta have what's all this preparation for? Opportunities. Opportunities for what? Hey, like the old saying, never let a good crisis go to waste. This is a perfect opportunity, right? And they got large gatherings, which is something they always talk about. Again, they push it in your mind subliminally, subconscious. Well, large gatherings. Avoid large gatherings. That's what people are going through past, what, 2020, 2021? It was always about large gatherings.
Yep.
No large gatherings. Now, all of a sudden, they're telling you, well, you're going to have large gatherings, but we're gonna step in and take the necessary measures to keep you safe while you're doing your large gatherings. And then what's going to happen then? The same people who are there to keep you safe are the ones who are going to start some shit. You know, it's not too far-fetched to think that, because they do it all the time. Right? They have an agenda. They have something to gain from it. When you look at the numerology, was that 6666? Was it 6 years, 6 months, 6 weeks, 6 days, or something like that?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
And it makes an X over the
It makes an
map
X, right?
for all the different places. And now this is an eclipse, right?
Right.
And an eclipse is not country specific, right? So for all the different ways it could have gone, it makes an X over America. That's not by coincidence.
Right. And it happens in a place called Little Egypt.
Warning star.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, that's weird.
Mhm.
You know, a place called Little Egypt in Illinois, man. And guess where? They say that this so-called measles outbreak is at? It's in Illinois.
Mm.
You know, isn't Chicago in Illinois? Chicago is like a nest of violence. You know, so hey, could we see martial law kick in very soon? You're damn right. You know, to justify them bringing some type of peace. You know, people are bugging out. You know, you got these migrant situations. There's a lot of things that could happen. You know, we were watching the video of this guy, Klaus Schwab, this morning, you know, talking about so-called cyber attack, you know, basically to paralyze the whole entire world.
Yep.
The grid will go down, and then at that point, he said it will be deeply, deeply affected.
Yeah, like the whole demic, but on a far worse scale, because during the demic you still had electricity, you had the TV, you had all those things, so you could stay home and be fine. You could work virtually, you could do all those things.
You know?
But in a situation where all hell is breaking loose and you can't do any of those things, you don't have access to that, people are gonna lose their minds.
Yep.
And it reminds me of that movie, Blade Runner. I think it's 2048 or something, where they said there was a blackout. The blackout happened, and all the data, everything they had stored electronically was wiped, gone. So it was kind of like if tomorrow you just got thrown into like the ice age, because literally no data on anything exists, nothing on how anything that was stored ever was gone, wiped. You don't have data on who you are, what's your name, how does a car work, manuals, everything was gone. And so that gave them the opportunity to revamp, to revise everything, on a different scale. With the exception of things that were actually stored on paper, everything digital was gone. So like you said, they're always looking for opportunities that they can capitalize off of, and sometimes they create some, and sometimes they ride on some natural phenomena or something that's coming to create the perfect scenario for them. So the scriptures say, watch. And it says, don't be ignorant of anything in a small or great matter.
That's right.
So it's better that you watch and nothing happens than for you to not watch and something happens.
Especially now.
Yep.
With how everyone is relying on, the internet and, electricity. If you get caught out there with none of that to happen, yeah, you're gonna be in a tough case.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it says, and they shall not escape.
Yep.
Imagine being in the city. As scriptures tell you that a city shall be troubled. Men shall be afraid.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things, and these devils always ride on the word emergency. Through the emergency, something new will emerge. That's how they get you. So who knows? Whatever emergencies may pop off around the country. Whether it be so-called T attacks, whether it be a cyber attack, whatever they do, whatever happens, they're gonna have a response to it. And guess what? The response is not gonna favor the American people. Okay, whatever they'll tell you that it's to save you and to keep you safe or whatever, but next thing you know, people get hauled into trucks, into camps.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. I mean, like that. What you're saying is gonna happen at one point or another.
Right.
We could sit here and eclipse could happen and everything could look like it's all sweet, but guess what? You're still gonna be another day closer to getting hauled off to a camp somewhere.
Yep.
So what the prophecy is not gonna be negated if nothing happens on April 8th.
Right.
It's still coming. That's the thing.
Right.
It's just gonna be another day.
Right. Yeah. And you just never know. You're just never gonna know. It's just gonna happen one day, and then your whole life is changed from there.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't go back either. That's why it says they shall not escape. You cannot go back.
Yep.
Yep.
Let's get Revelation 12:12 real quick.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 12, and verse 12. It says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea."
And guess what? You are part of the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. Right? So why is it saying that?
It says, "For the devil is come down unto you."
The deceiver,
Yep.
same one deceiving you. Oh yeah, you know what? This is just fine. These are just precautions.
Right.
You know, these are just okay. And then all of a sudden, that's just like those exercises, those live exercises go from precautions and exercises to live events.
Yep.
You know.
It says, "For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time."
Right. So because of the time crunch, whatever it is they're getting ready to do is going to be major. They're not going to, even if you know that it's set up, the effects are going to be so devastating that it'll be hard to do anything about it. You know, and they'll be able to. It's almost like they want to bulldoze their way. You know, to enslave your ass.
They said either by consent or by conquest.
That's it.
You know,
And now that more people are waking up, if they're seeing consent ain't really gonna work, conquest is what's next.
Yep. You know, and it's the stupidest thing for Americans to believe that, because of an eclipse, it's okay for our governments to disperse the National Guard and the military to come and keep us safe. I mean, people are so dumb, bro. You should be storming the streets like, hell no, get these niggas up out of here. We don't want them here. This should not be happening. It's just an eclipse. Just move on with your day, and that's it. But no, you see, it's all a test on the pulse of the people. Okay, and it's also an entry point. That's all they need.
Yep.
All right. So it says this. It says with the promise of the solar maximum coinciding with the eclipse, the potential for an awe-inspiring display is at its peak.
Along with the devil's comment.
Oh yeah.
So it's multiple things.
Yep. Hey, the signs are there, man.
Yep.
The signs are there. You know, she was crazy. Hey, you were talking about it yesterday. How around this time of the year, it's relatively nice, right? We get into April and shit like that. And you know what? One thing how you know that it's going to be a nice year is when you have a lot of chicks out. You know, a lot of these women be out. You know what I'm saying? They've been indoors all winter, so it's time for them to be out. Yo, you in the streets, you barely seen chicks now. Especially when it gets dark, a lot of them are indoors because they understand. You know, it's like a very eerie feeling. You know, very dark, eerie feeling. Nobody feels that security like the governments are trying to have you believe. You know, oh, we disperse the National Guard into the train stations so that you guys can be safe. You know, but yeah, nobody's feeling that way. You know, everyone's just like, nah, I'm gonna have to take care of myself. Plus, people are broke. Okay, everything is all these videos chicks are doing nowadays on TikTok and all that is all complaining. Nobody's flexing. Everybody's complaining. Oh, I need a husband. Oh, my rent is too high. I've been working 40-hour weeks and I'm still struggling. Like, that's all you're hearing. You know, so that's another sign of America going down. What happened to this tender and delicate spirit? You know, once you see the women, because remember, the women carry the vibration of this place. Okay, or this place carries the vibration of the women and vice versa. So when you hear the women complaining, that's America crying out for help. You know, Americans are crying. They're seeking help. They're dying. But guess what? The Lord is about to put that stomp out. You know what I'm saying? Stomp them out. It was on Micah 7 and 9, 7 and 10. You know? So let's continue. It says, however, the influx of eclipse tourists and the associated logistical concerns have led emergency officials to prioritize the well-being of students, teachers, and the broader community. This momentous decision underscores the balance between embracing educational opportunities and ensuring safety amidst a significant natural phenomenon. Okay? And then it goes into, it says, a celestial event of a lifetime. Alright? And, I was doing some research, I believe in the 1800s or so, there was an eclipse that hit this place, and there was a major earthquake. Now, you've heard a lot of people coming out and saying that the Madrid fault line and many different fault lines in America, that they might be affected by this so-called eclipse, because what happens in the heavens affects the vibration of the earth. It's all vibrations. So if you're gonna have that kind of eclipse, one that makes an X over America, hey, who knows? You know? So continuing, it says, The total solar eclipse that will sweep across the United States next month is not just another astronomical event. You hear that? It's not just another. This is why they're doing all this extra stuff. Okay? It is a celestial phenomenon that offers a rare opportunity for millions to witness the marvels of our universe firsthand. Oh man, Americans, man. Oh man, hey, you're not ready. It says such eclipses occur when the moon passes directly between the earth and the sun, casting a shadow that completely obscures the sun from view, turning day into a brief twilight. And what's that saying we were talking about yesterday? Is dark as before the dawn,
Right.
before the day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that bright morning star hasn't reached here yet. But before he does, it's going to be a very dark time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, again, the beginning of sorrows. Okay, and if we're going to be in a dark time, and when you go to the word eclipse, right? I believe we did that yesterday. Let me see if I can do it again. All right, an eclipse, it says a falling or a failing or forsaken. All right, to forsake a usual place, to fail to appear. It says to leave, right? Are we not in the time of the Exodus, right? The time of the Passover. Okay, so we're getting ready to leave. The Lord is getting ready to get us up out of here. But by what? By the failing and the falling of America, Babylon the Great. Okay, especially when it makes an X over America. You already know the signs are there, man. It's very obvious. Okay? It says the event occurs against the backdrop of the solar maximum, a period of peak solar activity that promises to enhance the eclipse experience with vivid coronal displays and the potential visibility of solar prominences, bright pink phenomena that curl or loop off the sun's edge, creating a spectacular visual display. Okay? And it goes on and on and on. Alright, but the point is, the Texas districts are preparing for this solar eclipse as if it's something else that's coming. You know, it's not just an eclipse, but something more that people should really take heed to, man. You know, and you notice it goes through from Mexico through Eagle Pass, Texas, all the way through across the states, all the way to Canada. And it's hitting places very significant known as Nineveh. And Nineveh is known in the scriptures as a place that the Lord sent Jonah the prophet, which one of the places that's going to hit is Jonah, Texas. Okay? And he gave them a sign and a warning of what? Of destruction of Nineveh. Okay? So all the signs are there, man. You know, and it's crazy because yesterday I felt a different energy during the Passover. Even with the apostles, their lesson that they did, you know, it was rapid pace. You know, Pastor okay, hey, let's go, come on. No, it felt like you about to get out of here. Like, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so there's definitely that sense of urgency coming. Like something is about to hit. You know? Oh man. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
You got anything else you want to say?
No, that's pretty much it. You know, as the scriptures say, just watch as well as pray. So we're just gonna keep our eyes open and we'll see what happens. You know, hope Lord willing, something does happen. But you know, in the midst of it all, the Lord keep us safe and protected. You know, so that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So with that, you know, Lord willing, you were edified and informed.
Mm-hmm.
In closing, we'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to you.
Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham, Machakodash.
Wadia Haba Shemo Shai. Until next time. Shalom.
Shalom.